I'm Tracy Williams, your host, and welcome to Bounce TV, your one-stop shop for the tools you need to build a resilient, impactful, and successful life. A show with guests who are the best in the business at winning the game of life and in sports. So get ready for transformative and powerful information in this episode. Let's go. Once again, I'm back, the incredible, the uncannibal T. Allen Williams. Oh, I know this. I got a new name thing going on right now. But enough of that. Today, as always, we got another information-packed, transformative show begin to bring you. If you're trying to get to your dreams and your goals, and you just want to become the person that you always dreamed about, this is definitely one of the one-stop shops that you should come to get all of the tools and the language that you're going to need to accomplish all your dreams. Now today, like I said, as always, I always say we got the best show, we got the greatest guests, but today I'm in the midst of stars today. Today we got some folks that are here, that some young people that started in our program as participants here at Bounce, but now they've grown, they've evolved, they've moved on to become leaders in our organization. And I do mean leaders. They help run our programs. All the things that's good about what we do, you got to start with these guys and attribute a lot of it to them, because they are the ones who are boots on the ground. They're the ones who are first line that we deal with young people about and things. And hopefully they've learned some things from me and some of the other coaches and stuff, and that they were able now to transfer and give to the young people that they deal with, but also being able to put what I call their fingerprint on it and put their DNA on it too. They're leaders, not just because I say they are. They're leaders because I've watched them develop over the years. Each one of them I've known for some years now, like I said, as participants first, but now as leaders in our programs, as coaches. Now, I'm going to do a little quick introduction. I'm going to start from what would probably be my right, but it's probably going to be your left if you're watching this on screen. To my far left, your left, I got Dom over here, D Nice, the Dominator. You know, depends on how he doing, how he tracking that day, what I'm saying about him, or what I can say now on camera. But Don to the right, throw your hand up, man. Let him see you. Yeah, there it is. And next to him, between me and him, we got John. John is one of those guys who has a lot of confidence, came to us with a lot of confidence. In other words, he think he can beat me. But, you know, it's good though. It's good. I heard the other day, John Morant say he would cook Jordan, you know, and, you know, all of us said, oh, cook for Jordan. But anyway, that's a long story. To my left, the most beautiful one in the room today. My left, your right, we have Ebony. Now, Ebony, in our program, I'm telling you, you swing that basketball to her in the corner, she in that corner. Yo, them buckets right there. She lines that thing up, it's going to be straight buckets. Ebony came to us a couple of years ago. Her development, her growth through our program has been so rewarding to me. Is, you know, every time I see her out there working with young people, just how well she works with them and how they speak about her when she's not around. You know, I'm just honored and privileged now just to be able to be around her. And now she inspires me to try to be better and try to learn more so I can give more. Now, last and never least, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the most on this Crystal Coast is our point guard, the guy, the leader, my man CJ. Throw your hand up, CJ. CJ, anything you want to say before we get started?
We get started?
Because
no.
Say it again?
As of now, not right.
See, and the reason I'm just being facetious right there, he really don't talk a lot. So that's why I said, let's see if he's going to say something. But today, you know, what I wanted to do is just get you guys in here into something that's been in the making for a while. Because, you know, as a global ambassador for Charity Bounce, you know, some people say I'm the face of Charity Bounce. But really, I don't ever want to be just the face of Charity Bounce. I want there to be the many faces of Charity Bounce. I don't think that it'd be good for us or a true representation of who we are if it's just one face here. I think that everybody should have, when they hear Charity Bounce, they should think of maybe a different face than mine. A face that endears them to our program and what we do. So I'm excited about today. When our producer Kayla told her that we were going to do this show, I was hyped and everything for it. I prepared and not prepared for it because I really want you guys to kind of share, give your hearts out here on your time here at Bounce from the first day, if you want to start there, to today. Just your development and things that you think you learned about while your time here at Charity Bounce, and things that you learned about yourself. Because I'm always saying that the best way to learn about yourself is to learn about other people. So without no further ado, I'm going to go back to where we started at. Go to my man Dom over here. You know, when Dom first came to us, and I'm going to say this a little bit about each one of you, but when Dom first came here, you know, one of the things I saw about Dom is that he has talent. He has some ability. And let me just say this. Every one of these guys that are up here right now, when I met them, they were better basketball players in different ways than I was at my age. So I saw these things, I saw different things in them, and that's what made me get excited about each and every one of them, because I said, okay, well, they're ahead of me. They're ahead of my development because, you know, I'm what they call a late bloomer. But I saw in Dom that leader right away. I saw that leadership ability that he had, you know, and a desire to do it. Because, you know, some people have leadership, but they don't really want to do it. He wants to do it. He just needed somebody to teach him how. So, Dom.
Yo.
What's up, man? Spit on that mic for me.
So how I started with Charity Bounce was actually John right here. He had messaged me about this Coach Josie, that there was a camp that was going to happen, and I happened to say yes. And that first training session was kind of tough for me, can't lie. I can't remember too much about it, but I remember Tracy, seeing him, hearing him. And since then, nothing's really changed, besides from the way I view life. And yeah.
Thanks, Dom, man. Appreciate that. I knew you were going to be short, but sweet, though. Yo, next up is my man, John. You know, John, really, man, when I the first time I saw you, you know, that scout part of me, or that basketball scout part of me, came out and said, hey, this guy really has an inside player. He really got some great inside moves. But then I looked and I said, but he's undersized, though. Now, one of the things I've learned, if I didn't learn anything else in playing basketball, is this. You can measure a man's height or his weight or whatever, but it's the heart of a person. I don't think until we see it on display, we really don't know how big it is. So if I had to say something about this guy here, more than anything, man, he's just got a huge heart. Huge heart. When he plays the game really hard. He plays it really fierce. He plays it with a passion. Tell me about how did you come to Charity Bounce? And Dom didn't say much about it, but what made you keep coming back, man?
First of all, I want to say thank you, Coach. I really appreciate that. But yeah, like Dom was saying, that first training session, Coach Josie, shout out to Coach Josie at Promote the Good. Yeah, she just messaged me and she asked me about if I wanted to train, and I had a vision for basketball. I knew that this was what I was going to do, even at like 13 years old. So when she messaged me, I messaged all my friends, and Dom was the only one who agreed to come. And we came all the way out there in Matcherville. The most significant part of that training, we stood on the sideline. First time meeting Coach Tracy Williams, 6'5" American, strong voice. You know how loud he can be? He comes right up to us, stands right in our face, and starts screaming. I have no idea who was saying. I cannot remember at all, but it was probably the most inspirational thing I ever heard. He had a vision for us that we didn't have for ourselves at that time.
Facts.
He saw something and he knew that we could be so much more. And what he saw in us, I kind of started seeing myself. And just knowing that he would give us the opportunity to develop and become who we could potentially be, that's what made me want to keep coming back.
Facts.
I knew that if I stuck with Coach, he'd help me find what my true potential is. And that's what made me keep coming back.
Facts.
And since that day, I have not looked back. I just want to say thank you so much for that.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man. Ooh. Yo. Yeah. Go ahead, Go ahead. Thanks, John. Go ahead.
It's pretty hard to counter, but sorry, I think I can pull it off.
You got it.
Well, I feel like I'm probably going to talk a lot and pull a Tracy here and talk about a lot of random things. But here we go. So when I first came to Bounce, it was like the beginning of Breakfast Club when I first came. There was like 4 boys. One of them was my brother. And then there was a few other people, CJ and another guy. And I was scared. I was very scared. I'm like, I'm the only girl and I'm here with all these guys who, I mean, I'm pretty confident in my skills. So I wasn't thinking they're better than me, but I'm like, I'm just as good as them, but they might not think I'm just as good as them. And I was scared. But I got on that line and I trained with them that day and I kept coming back and I kept training and getting better. And with that, my confidence improved. And I feel like John said, one thing with Tracy is he's very inspirational. And for most of my life, I've wanted to be 2 things. And that's a basketball player. Actually, quick story. When I was a little kid, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how I got into basketball. I think it was because of my brother and I used to watch him play and I was like, wow, I want to be a basketball player like my brother. Shout out to Jordan. Sorry, Ziggy. Yep, shouting out Jordan because he was the one I watched. But anyways, yeah. And then I remember telling him like, I'm going to make into the NBA. I'm going to be the first girl in the NBA. That was my dream. And then my brother goes, Jordan, the one that inspired me, he goes, you know there's a women's NBA, right? You don't have to make it to the NBA. And I'm like, huh? But I want to be the first one in NBA. And he's like, there's a women's NBA. I'm like, fine, whatever. I'll join that one then. And then I went and researched and I'm like, oh, what the hell? There is a women's NBA. I don't need to make it into NBA. I could just make it into women's NBA. But as a kid, I still wanted to be the first woman in NBA and verse all the men because I grew up with 4 brothers. I was always the only girl amongst guys in whatever I did, like the first training session, only girl. It's been like that for most of my life. I've been like the only girl with all the guys. And I've never cared. So I still wanted to play in the NBA, not women's NBA, as bad as that might sound. But yeah, that was one of my dreams. And my second dream was to be an actor. And acting is like, so funny, but yeah, Jordan, again, used to go to acting classes. So I don't know if this is like another thing to him that I like watched him do and I'm like, I want to be an actor, but it is my passion now. And he has his own stuff now that he's old. And acting is still one of the number 1 things that I want to do. And I have a pretty big dream with acting. I actually want to be in the MCU, which is very specific and probably very hard to do, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to do it. And Tracy was one of the people who made me believe more in myself. Like, throughout my life, there's been people going like, oh, Ebony, you're so beautiful and you're so talented, and like teachers, my mom, my brothers, so many people. And like, I've half believed them, but there was always that voice in my head that was like, yeah, but you're just saying that because you care about me. But like Tracy, I mean, he might say that he cares about me, but he was just a stranger to me. And like when he told me, like he said, I see it in you, you're going to be whoever you want to be. Like you're going to succeed in life. Whatever you want to be, you're going to be that person. And I remember it. Like I just remember looking at him. I remember it in the gym in Matraville. Just like that moment sticks with me throughout everything. I remember when he said that to me, and for the first time I believed it. And I'm like, I don't know why he thinks this about me. Like I went away thinking, why? How does he know that? Why does he think that? Like he doesn't even know me. What does he see in me? But it made me believe in myself. And that's what Charity Bounce does. Like I don't know if it's done that for other people, and I hope it has, but that's what it's done for me. It's made me be confident in who I am and want to be myself. And it's made me be a better basketball player, because I used to be so scared on the court. Like training, I was usually fine. Like I would be scared to train, but I'd be able to show my skills. But in a game, I would be scared. And now I'm at the point where I can get in a game and I'm confident. I know what I can do. And I shoot that ball. And like Tracy said, I make buckets when I shoot that ball. And it's the same in life as well. Now I'm coaching. Like he said, I'm involved, coaching with Charity Bounce. And I go in on Saturdays and I see those kids, and, they really make my day, just seeing them, being there, teaching them, talking to them about how their lives are going, talking to them about their dreams. And I hope that I can be that person for them. I have these two girls, Ruby and Tabitha. They both want to be riders. And when I was in high school, I'm like, I love everything. So I like riding, I like acting, I like drawing, I like singing, I like playing instruments, I like basketball and sports, and like basically anything creative I like. And so I loved riding as a kid. And again, it was one of those things I was told I have a talent with. And so when they said they wanted to be writers, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's amazing. And I made them both write me something to start off, because I know when I was young, I would just write. And well, that's what worked. You just write, and if you fail, that's all right. Just keep writing. And so I told them to write, and Ruby wrote me something, and I got to read it, and it was amazing. And I can't wait to see her book in stores and buy it and read it and message her or message her parents and be like, oh my gosh, the book's amazing. But yeah, that's what I feel like Bounce does. It really helps you to be the person you want to be, and, dream a big dream and succeed, achieve that dream. Be determined enough to go and get it. Work hard for it. So, yeah.
Wow. You did follow up on John and took it up with him.
I know.
Nice, CJ. It's all on
Good
you,
luck,
man.
CJ. Good luck, CJ.
You got to shoot. This is 2 free throws. It's gone. Hey.
Gotta go after that, goddamn.
Yeah. But no, man, do you play?
CJ.
You have a question again?
Yeah, well, just your experience, man. I mean, what is it? It might not even be your initial story. It's just what you feeling today, man, and what the program has meant to you, and now you're in the position now to give to the program. I mean, our program is basically on what you bring.
Yeah. Well, the program helped me a lot. I remember the first time joining Bounce was with Coach Josie too. Everyone else heard it. She invited me to a training session with Tracy, and I'm not sure if it was Breakfast Club yet then. The courts weren't done. It wasn't Bounce. It was just a Matraville school.
Yeah.
And I remember the first thing is Tracy walking in, just screaming, making all this noise.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking, who the hell is that guy?
Nothing's changed.
Now, I remember my first couple of times with Tracy, honestly, I didn't really like him that much. I didn't like him. He just got on my nerves. Ebony will know, I'll complain to her a lot about him. I was like, man, who's this guy? A lot more harsher stuff, but
PG.
Don't keep it PG. And I'll tell her, I'm not going back anymore. I'm not going to Bounce anymore. Then I find myself waking up again at 6 on Saturdays and going to Matraville and training with Tracy. And looking back at it now, it's really good that I did that, because that really helped me a lot. Because at the time, I thought it was coming at me and attacking me, but I really just saw the potential in me, wanted to help me grow and push me. So I'm really grateful for that, Tracy, so thank you. I didn't really see it there, but now I'm so grateful that you pushed me and helped me see that potential. Because now I know what I can do too. Now I know I can make it to the NBA and achieve all my dreams. So I'm just really grateful for that. And yeah, this program just helped me a lot. It's also helped me with coaching now. Even though it's just, I'm doing it now to earn income and all that, but it's really helped me a lot of coaching, see a different perspective of the game, all the other kids and helping these other kids and pushing and helping them grow. Because now some of these kids too I'm coaching, I want to help and see them grow too. I see potential in them. So what Trace will probably see in us. So I get to see the game from a different perspective. That's really helped me a lot too. So I've just gained a lot of this program. I'm really grateful for it. And I wouldn't be where I am right now without Bounce. So thank you, Tracy and Bounce, for everything you've done for me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yo, thank all of you guys, man. I'm telling you, you know, one of the things I said to you guys when I first met you is that you got to be better than me. I want you to be better men. I want you to be better friends, brothers, siblings, husbands, whatever. You got to be better than me. You know, that's the reason why I'm in here. You know, it's no hater in me. I'm not looking to keep you under me. I want to look at you one day with your parents or your significant others and they say, well, thank you for that. I'm like, for what? I was never that good. I was never as good as CJ. I never displayed all of my talent like Ebony had. I never was led to people or as many people as Dom has. I've never achieved the heights that John has. To me, you know, somebody asked me, said, well, you talk about everybody's destiny and what everybody ought to be and what they should do. What's your destiny? And I always say that my destiny is making sure everybody else reach theirs. My destiny is that when people find their purpose and then find the courage to live it out, because it takes courage, because we live in a world, everybody wants CJ to be like everybody else. You know, everybody wants you to be like everybody else. One of the things I want you guys to be who you are is different from me. I don't even want you to coach like I do. Like I'm in people's face, I'm hollering, I'm screaming, but you know, I want energy, but I do want people to say a good day for me is I go and cover for CJ and the kids say, hey, you all right today, but we really like Coach CJ better than you. Now, to me, I get teary-eyed, I get choked up when them kids say, I'm really, really loving working with Ebony. You know, I was listening to one lady, like I said, that she was like, you're good and you were the reason why I brought my son, but Ebony's better. And I'm like, okay, this is where it's supposed to be. And you two guys were standing there when one of the parents came up and said some things about you guys and how this kid suffering from depression and just feeling like they ain't got nothing to live for. But these two guys as coaches, being the role models and being, you know, that's the goal of our organization, to be honest with you, is that you people are walking inspiration to other folks, that you're teaching other people by the fact that how you don't give up. No matter what happens, CJ, your dream is your dream, and it ain't never over till you win. It ain't never over. It don't never stop till you say it's over. You're the only one that has the power to do that. To be able to, when you do that, you allow or give permission to other people who watching you. And, you know, sometimes they real quiet, like you, CJ, they are dumb. They not saying nothing, but they sitting there thinking, hey, you know, just watching you, man, made me feel like, okay, I can do this and I can do it the way I want to do it. I mean, I'm walking out of a session the other day and I see Ebony playing the guitar. And I look and I see her get through playing it and I watch my wife who was sitting there wiping her eyes and saying, oh my God, I didn't know Ebony had that kind of talent and that ability. I'm like, man, this place is full of kids who have talent so far beyond basketball. They have basketball talent too, but it's so far beyond, which again, basketball, as I've always told people, is a platform. It creates a platform for you to do all of these other things that you're good at. It was never to be just the only thing that you're good at. Nobody should ever Google any of you guys in the future and say, well, all CJ was an NBA Hall of Famer. Yeah, but you know what? He was a great humanitarian. He was a great coach. Well, Dom, he led some teams and did some stuff. Yeah, but you know what? He was the prime minister of Australia, though. He led this country into a golden age and stuff. John, super athletic, super passionate. Yeah, but man, when he could speak, man, didn't he just stir our hearts up? Ebony got 12 Grammys. Nobody's done it. Not even Michael Jackson got that. Who's doing that stuff? I want basketball to be a start, a beginning for you guys. Now, before I go into it, because it's don't even really supposed to be about me, one of the things we talk about at Bounce, and if Ian, our fearless leader, always, when the first time he told me about Bounce, I was kind of like you, CJ. I was thinking like, man, I ain't coming back to this. This ain't what I want to do, And I love Ian sometimes, but we different. Like Ian's not really a basketball guy, but he wants to help kids, and he felt that basketball was a way to draw kids to come in. Now he always tell you, I'm not a basketball guy. I don't know. I can never come out there and show anybody anything basketball, but I want basketball people that can help kids and get them to where they need to be. And the one word he always says, he always talks about is resiliency. How to be resilient. How to be resilient. How to, when tough situations come along and tough times come along, we understand, one, that tough times don't last, but tough people do. And that we can, if we don't have the tools mentally, because I've learned since I've been here, I've had to get some new tools to be able to do my job in an effective way. I've had to learn, to be able to do that because I thought I had certain tools, but I didn't. So I had to get better at it. He was always, and that's what I love about him. He's always teaching me. Like I'll come to him about some of you guys and I'm like, man, I really, really want to help this kid or this. And I've talked to him, especially you four. I've talked to him about it with y'all so many times. And I'm going like, how do I help him though? I mean, I'm kind of frustrated right now because I don't really know how to help him. And he's always been patient, sit down with me, show me, he's got a background in psychology and social work. I don't have that. I just got this crazy passion to do stuff. And like I told John and Dom before we went on ad today, is that I just got an attitude, man. I just got this kind of attitude that's like, hey, watch me, see if I won't do this. You challenge me, and so that's why I challenge you guys. I get in CJ's face because I know CJ's got everything that he needs to be everything he want to be. But I know I got to chip away at the stuff that's stopping him. And I've always said this. I said, your first day of success is the day you overcome the things inside of you that cause you to fail. When you can overcome what's in you, then there ain't nothing out here can stop you at that point. You a light, man. You on fire. There ain't all people can sit back and watch you burn or pay for to watch you burn and do that kind of stuff. So resiliency, to be able to deal with tough situations and how to manage it. Because all of us have them. All of us are in them. All of these things happen. So I want a story, a real quick thing on resiliency. It could have been something in the program. CJ, it could be just dealing with me, understanding, I loved it when C had said the other day, he said, yeah, sometimes I really don't like you still, and I'm okay with it because it's a part of it. I always tell people, God loves me all the time, but sometimes I understand he don't like me. Sometimes I'm doing too much. and I'm challenging in a certain way, but always said to you guys, CJ, it comes from a place of love. It's because I really do care about you. If I didn't, I just wouldn't be saying nothing to you. Starting with you, CJ, give me a short thing about, about resiliency. Everybody understand what I mean by resiliency?
Yeah.
And being able to just get through the tough times?
Yeah, probably. I didn't like you.
Okay.
Coming, we were saying, going off that.
Okay.
Sticking through that helped me in the long run. Because back...
You can say it can be bad.
Nah. Trying to think how to word it.
No cussing.
Yeah. Trying to think how to word it.
You want to think about it and remove?
Yeah, I was going to talk personal, but I didn't want to talk personal. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Personal stuff, I didn't want to talk.
Yeah. Okay.
Personal.
Well, if you change your mind before we get through. Because again, it's one of the big things is being authentic, man. I think people are moved when you're authentic. I think people are moved by what you say when you are what you say. I mean, so I think that's huge.
I was going to say more my mindset wasn't the right. I wasn't the right mindset then. Then by you pushing me, I helped get me back on the right mindset and see what's right. And I get back on track to doing what I want to do and all that. So it's more like that.
Okay.
I won't get too deep into it. But yeah.
Okay. John, what you got?
It was a while back, way long, like when we just first started. I think it was around our second year coming to Breakfast Club and Charity Bounce. Everybody has their own experiences in life, and everybody goes through periods where they ain't so good. And it was like those periods where coming out of training, you just don't feel motivated. And Tracy has been asked a lot about motivation and staying motivated. And not just coming to practices and working out, but just in every aspect of life. I know everyone finds it hard to stay motivated. Well, Tracy taught us, he didn't say it word for word then, but what he taught us is that more important than being motivated was just consistency. And back then, he told me just keep coming out. When I didn't want to come out to training, he just said keep coming out. And the more I came out, the more I found it easier, Just wake up, get ready for practice, play basketball, because that's what I love to do. And by repeating that action, just telling myself, all right, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna get this done. I found after week, it just got more fun. I started enjoying it more. And what I really learned from that experience was that resiliency, it's not really like, I don't know how to put this, but resiliency, it just comes from getting through and knowing that on the other side of the fence, it's going to be greener.
Go ahead. Man, you can't stop. She's talking to me. No, go ahead. Well, let me ask you a question. John, if you had to say something to a kid out there that's struggling with consistency, they hear what you're saying. They understand the words you're saying, but it's still hard for them to do it. What could give me something that you could tell them that you think would help them to do it, to keep moving forward?
I would tell them that whatever's in their head is their reality. So whatever they think, what they tell themselves in their head, what they repeat to themselves, that's going to be their reality. If they're struggling and they're saying to themselves, I can't do this, I don't have the energy to do this, I'm tired, I'm too tired, then you will be too tired. You won't have the energy to do it.
That's right.
But if you just tell yourself, I'm just going to get this done, I'm going to push through, I'm going to persevere, I'm going to stay resilient, I'm going to get this done, then it'll be a lot easier for you. So my advice to them is just always be aware of what you're saying to yourself and speak your reality into existence.
Definitely. Good. Dom, situation that you've been through that you had to fight through and persevere through.
One for me that really stands out is my dreams and goals. So I want to become an NBA player. I first want to go to a D1 college. And before, when I first started coming here, I didn't know if that was possible. I didn't know if I was ever going to make it, how to even get over to America, or if like any of this was even possible. But yeah, with Tracy talking to me and talking to all of us, he allowed me to realize that everything that we do has to be for a purpose, and that if we do it with a purpose, everything that I dream of will become a reality. He said something that stuck with me, and that was live in your head until everything you're imagining comes into the real world. And yeah, that really stuck with me.
Definitely. Yeah, you got to live in your head, man. I think that's why God gives us an imagination. You know, I think imagination is like a movie trailer, Ebony. Go and believe me into you. It's coming attractions. You know, you see a movie trailer on a show that's coming up. You know, the movie ain't out yet, but it's got parts of it in your head. I think that's what Dom is saying. What's the situation? You know, teach us, give us some tools. How do you get through the dog days of moving towards your dreams and goals? How do you keep yourself moving forward?
Okay, I like this segue. And we'll see if I answer this properly. I was just going to say one thing too. This might sound a bit weird to anyone listening, but like I feel like I have like some kind of telepathic sense, because when Tracy motioned for CJ to start talking, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be next. I kind of want to go last. And I'm like, I want to go last. If he asks me to talk next, I'm going to ask to go last. And well, I'm talking last, so, you know, well, I'm just saying, I think I have superpowers.
Clairvoyant. I'm clairvoyant. I caught that.
Yeah, but anyway, to what Tracy was saying about, his first question was about resilience, which he asked CJ, and I really wanted to answer that question as well. So I'm going to answer that, and then I'm going to segue into the question he asked about getting through those dark days, and hopefully they mesh together. So, resilience. Wow, do I have a lot to say about this? Because, well, this will be probably dark, but like Tracy said, you know, you got to be real sometimes, and I really believe in that. I think, you know, showing people like your feelings, like I'm very emotional. You've probably seen me in this podcast while other people are talking, just disappear a bit and, I don't know, look a bit weird. And that's probably because I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. And it'll probably be emotional and I might cry. But it's all right, because I feel like it's good to wear your heart on your sleeve and show people the true you. Like, I really believe in that. And so one of the things about resilience is I had to learn about resilience really young. And here we go. Because when I was 10, my dad got cancer and he passed away. And, you know, for the longest time, that has been something that really affected me. You know, when I was in high school, I found out that I had depression. And when I went to the therapist for the first time and told her about everything that had like happened, and she said that the reason that she thinks like the main reason was because she thinks that when my dad passed away, I never got to grieve properly because I was so young, and I'm not blaming my family or anything, but my brothers and my mum, they're all very private people and we all love each other very much, but we don't know how to communicate that with each other. And so when my dad passed away, everyone kind of dealt with it in their own way privately. And so for me and my two younger brothers, I think we felt like we didn't really have anyone there for us to help us go through that, because we were all really young. You know, one of my brothers was only 3 and now he's a teenager. He's 14 now. So, and, you know, I always think about him and think, how can I help him? You know, I want to be there for him. I want to make sure that he grows up to be everything that he can be. Mm. And, you know, it's very big. And one of the things with Charity Bounce is that like, believe it or not, even though that was like 10 years, well, I was 2011, so that was 2022, 11 years now. One of the things that Tracy has mentioned, a bit personal as well, is that he has also lost his dad. Mm. And even though he lost him like at an older age than me, I still related to that. And there was this one session where he came in and we were all sitting on the baseline and he started talking about that experience. And I was there like, I'm going to cry because I'm thinking about my dad now. But everything he said, like I related to that and it just helped me be at peace. And I feel like that's where I learned resilience because, you know, I had to find a way to come back from that experience by myself. I had to pick myself up and, you know, keep going to school and keep being me and do all those things. And that's something that I learned at a very young age. And I think death is one of those things that, like, if you have to experience that young, it's hard. It's very hard. But it's also very hard to experience it old. Like, it doesn't matter what age you are. When you lose a loved one, that's like one of the hardest things to go through. And like going through that experience, you know, it's been 11 years for me now. I feel like for some people, you know, it's different for everyone. For me personally, I feel like, and I know there's a lot of people that have said this about their experience as well, like you never fully get over it. Like you learn how to live without them and how to be yourself. Like you can still be happy, but there's always those moments where, you know, you do something and you think of that person and it might be a happy moment, it might be a sad moment, but you know, that person is always there with you. And yeah, it's a very hard experience. And yeah, anyways, I was going to say, so the dark days, you know, I know a lot about that. You know, suffering with depression, and I also have anxiety, which is not fun, and, you know, losing my dad and all of those problems. But they have taught me how to be resilient, and hopefully I can share that wisdom with anyone who's listening and the kids that I coach and anyone I meet in the future. You know, my brothers, if they ever need help. Now I feel like at a very young age, like I'm only 21 and I have all this wisdom about these things that I feel like most people learn once they're a lot older. And so the thing I want to say is that when you're going through those dark days, it's like it might seem hard, but you have to look forward, you know. You have to find something that tethers you. And that helps you get through it. And for me, truly for me, that thing was basketball. Like basketball was like my escape. Like I loved basketball so much. Like at school, you know, I also got bullied. Fun. Anyways, yeah, at school I had no friends. And recess and lunch, I loved just going to the basketball court and just playing basketball. Like I just loved it so much, and it just helped me get through school because school was really hard for me, and basketball helped me get through that. And, you know, when sport came around and I would get to go out basketball and go on the basketball teams, and I found friends through that, you know. They were all boys, of course. Like I said, I'm always around the boys. And they were younger than me as well, but it was all right. You know, I was happy with that. And then I would go back to my class and, yeah, do my work, whatnot. But I'd always be thinking about basketball. Like after lunch, I'd be like, oh, now I have to go to class and then 2 hours and then I can play basketball again. And I'll just be thinking about that. So you have to find that thing that keeps you connected to who you are and that makes you like want to be happy. Like what's that thing that you can feel? And it might not be like a hobby or something like that. Like it might be a person. But people aren't always the best things to have though, because you don't want to be dependent on a person. But yeah, so it's good to have something. Hobby, person. Don't be too much on the person though. Anything it is, find that thing and keep that thing close to you. And hopefully through that, you can get through and motivate yourself. So, yeah.
Shout out basketball.
Yeah, shout out basketball.
Shout out basketball, yeah. I tell you, yeah, you definitely was, yeah, that was great.
I did cry.
That was awesome. I mean, you know, and we are clairvoyant because I was thinking about how concluding it, and I was going to mention the situation with my dad because of COVID, not being able to travel back for the funeral, not to be there. But the thing, I remember my wife asking me before I talked to you guys that day, she don't talk a lot. I do all the talking, but she asked me one night, she just said, "How you feeling?" And when somebody can say that to you, it's got a lot more weight on it than just how you feeling. And I remember just taking a deep breath and just saying, if this would have happened and I'd have been anywhere else in the world doing anything else, if I'd have just been playing basketball and not having the honor and the privilege to work in this organization with people like you guys. And I want to look at y'all when I say this, because I mean it with everything in me. If it weren't for you guys, I don't get through that. I don't. My dad was my hero. I couldn't even imagine living in a world that he wasn't in. If you'd have asked me that before that. If you'd have asked me if I could have got through it before it happened and not be there, when, to have him ask for me a couple of weeks before he died and when I was coming home. If I don't be at Bounce, if I don't have you guys in my life, like you said, that purpose in my life, I don't get through that. I definitely don't stay here. I leave and stuff. And even though it was almost like a year or so later before I actually get back to go to, this past February, to get back to the grave and stuff, I still believe that what I believed then, that I was where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be here with you guys. I believe that that's where he would have wanted. And I say that, and I don't say it because I used to hear people say that on movies and stuff, and I'm like, that's so junk. But I say that, and I really, really mean it. Being a part, or you guys allowing me to be a part of your development, because you don't have to allow me to do it, has been the honor of my life. I think in all the things that my dad has ever taught me, that's what's the thing that I think he was really pushing me to. Find something that you care about, like you said, Ebony, that you could just anchor yourself in it. I knew with Bounce, and I'm concluding, that when I first got here, I was going to do a lot of things in Australia. Charity Bounce wasn't one of them. But it's been the honor of my life thus far to be a part of this organization. I've been with some teams. I've played Division I basketball, the NCAA. I've done a whole lot of stuff. But the honor of my life thus far has been being a part of this organization. And finally, it's a saying, I don't know where I read it in a book or whatever. They said that a wise person will plant a tree that they know they'll never sit under the shade of it, that they'll be dead and gone long before that tree ever grows. A wise person does that. I look at you guys as the seeds of that tree sometimes. I do. That this is going to be something that as this organization moves into the future, I know y'all going to go off and have professional basketball careers and y'all going to do all of that. But this culture, this thing, man, we just connected forever. We'll come back to it. Whatever we do, we're going to come back to it. This will be like the common ground. But I always know that one day my body going to be gone, but this place going to still be here. And I'm confident about that now because I know you guys, and I know that you guys are going to take it to the next level. And y'all going to be greater than what I could have ever imagined me being. Want to kind of try to end this on a note of kind of talking about where you guys see yourself at, going into the future. What are some of your future goals? I know we've kind of mentioned a couple of things. I know Ebony has, and Dom and John and CJ. But let's say in the next couple of years, what are some of the things that y'all want to be able to do coming up here that you know you're going to have to use these tools that you learned to get to it? Let's start with you, Dom. What is it for you?
Well, firstly, I want to make sure I live my life with no regrets. So I want to make sure I get everything out of my life. But as far as basketball-wise, I don't know if I can say this, but I want to go into high school next year over in America.
Yeah.
And then from there, hopefully rack up some offers and then keep building up to make my final goal and conquer it in the NBA. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, what you got? You knew I was coming. You knew I was coming.
Yeah, I have quite a few goals. The main one is, like I said before, being an actor in the MCU. That is like my main goal. And that's like one thing I really, really want to do. And I feel like it'll be heaps of fun. And then I also, the second goal is like, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with it because I still want to play basketball somehow.
Basketball actor.
New Space Jam, Ebony and Annor as the player. Yeah, but I don't know what exactly. But something to do with basketball, I want people to be like, oh, that actor Ebony, she's actually like an amazing basketball player. Like she beat the NBA players, she beat CJ, on and she beat Dom and John.
Whoa.
in a 5v5 with her own team. Yeah, no, but yeah, I want to be known as a really good basketball player, and so that's something that I'm still working towards. And then another one of my goals is, I want to make sure that like my family's good, and not just my family. Like I feel like I care about a lot of people that don't really they're not really important to me, but I still care about them, and I want to help those in the world that are less fortunate, people that are suffering from hunger, homelessness, all that kind of stuff. I know it's cheesy, but it's true. Like that's who I am. Like my goal is to become like rich and famous so that I can give back to the people and help those who can't get there themselves and give those people a way to, get out of that dark place. And I think those are like my main goals. Also travel the world. I really want to travel the world, and I think that would be heaps of fun. And I can't wait to do that and do everything like being an actor in the MCU. I think that would be really fun too. So yeah, those are my goals.
That's it.
You'll see me on the big screen one day.
I believe it. CJ, what you got?
I only got one main goal that I've been striving for since I first played this game. That's just to play basketball at the highest level in the NBA.
That's what's up. That's all
that's on my mind right now.
John.
Well, my goal is to, conquer the world of basketball, take over, just be that guy, be the greatest I can be. But my dream really is along that way with the platform that I build, with the platform I create, is make it so my family ain't got to worry about nothing. I want to take care of my people. And with that, like what I've experienced through coaching is I can be a great influence to people younger than me. So I want to live a life that can inspire at least one person just to do better in life and try to be the greatest they can be as well. That's my dream.
Yo, that's what's up. Hey, as y'all can see here, I'm surrounded by people who just so inspirational. Their actions and behaviors is so transformational. People that I can honestly say, if you just sit back and watch them, they're going to teach you how to risk and not rust, venture and never vegetate. You can't be around them and not be infected by this drive and these goals that they have. So again, we just want to thank everybody out there that took this time out of your life, took it and made an investment in your life to listen to some of these amazing people. Now, keep your eyes on them because they're going to be doing big things. Pay your cable bill, in other words, what I'm saying.
Yes,
because you're going to be seeing these guys doing positive, powerful things going forward in the future. And as always, check back in with us next time. Same bounce time, same bounce channel. This is your boy, T. Allen Williams in the Bazillion, once again for another great episode of Bounce TV.
Yeah.